everybody, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about the lighting and the influence that the light has on color, and believe me, it can be completely different in certain types of lighting. When considering color for painting the walls, it is essential to analyze the type and the quantity of light provided to that room. There are two ways to get light into a room, either natural light, sunlight, daylight, or artificial light. There are two important questions to make when you think about the light that is coming inside the room or the space. Is that enough daylight? If not, what sources of artificial light you will use? It will be more warm or more cooler. Which one will you use? Throughout the day, the color that you put on the walls will change according to the light that it will receive. In daily light, you have a certain hue of color. In artificial light, you have another one. Depending with more sun or less sun, the color will change as well. Let's start with daylight. Natural light is not just a free source of lighting, but it shows color on their truest hues. For example, in a room with not enough natural light, sunlight, select a color that will go according to what you need. If you need the room to be more cooler, then you use cool colors. If you need the room to be warmer, then you use warmer colors. If you want to remember which one are the cool or the warmer, check out the card from the previous video. There I explain a lot about color psychology and which one are the cooler, which one are the warmer ones. Check it out. One important aspect when you think about sunlight or daylight is the orientation of the sun. That's an essential part when you decide which color you're going to choose to put on the walls, because the amount of natural light will depend on the room orientation. If it is faced for north, south, west, east, that will make an impact on the color. Let me give you some examples, more based here in Portugal. It will depend on which part of the world you are, because, for example, here in Portugal, the summer is in June, and for Brazil, the summer is in December, I think. So the amount of light will be different. For example, I know here in my house where will the sun start and how high it will be as well, and when you're gonna finish, what parts of the house there are more sunlight or not. I know that because I analyzed it, I noticed, and I took notes for that as well, in order for me to understand when were the time on the day that I had more sunlight, and in which parts of the house I have more sunlight as well. Room facing north, normally the light is really cold, so it becomes necessary to choose light and warmer colors. If the division is facing east, the light is more hard, so it will be a good idea to use muted colors, but not too cold. On rooms facing south, the light is more intense, and sometimes there are cases of too much light, because it depends. If you have a white wall and that intense lighting reflecting on that white wall, can be hard for your eyes. Can be a little bit glare because there are too much light. There are some things that you can use to reduce that intense lighting. For example, you can use shutters, you can use blinds. Avoid using colors that has too much light on their composition. For example, the light and bright colors, because they will reflect that light in a way more intense. Cool colors, for example, will help to make a room feel less hot and dazzling. That's the three options. So you can tell that is how important it is to understand the orientation of the room, so that you know the quantity of natural light that that room will have during the day. If it is some rooms, they don't even have not that much through all the day, or they have just a little bit of a sunlight during the day, and that will make an impact. And so it is important for you to understand and to analyze it before you paint any wall. And how will you understand, how will you know what is the room orientation? Some people know. Some people build their houses with their sun orientation on their minds, but not everybody has that job done. So if you don't know, it is a great task, for example, to be present in the moment. I'm thinking like this because if you just think about, okay, I have to analyze and take notes about the quantity of light that we'll have through the day, it will sound boring, and oh my god, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't have the time to do this. But if you use it this time to be more present with the moment, then it's not going to sound so boring, so don't want to do it, because you're going to use it the time to analyze the sun, to take care of yourself, and at the same time to choose the colors from your world, for your walls. You see, you kill two birds in one shot, in my opinion. I think. No, I think so. Other good thing to do as well, I was searching to see if there were any easy ways to understand, or without analyzing. If you don't have to, if you want to analyze, if you don't want to do that test, there are ways to do it as well. I was searching online and I found some websites and apps as well. If you put on Google sun orientation, you will find and it will be easier for you to understand throughout the day where the sun will be, so it will make easier for you to choose the colors that you need to put on the walls. There are places, like I said before, that the sun doesn't show in any part of the day, or is really low during the day. And those parts are the bathrooms, hallways, and so on. There are some parts in the house that are not accessible to the daylight. I have a friend that her bathroom doesn't have any window whatsoever, so no sun at all. So with that in mind, you have to be careful with the light, the artificial light that you choose, because it will influence, like the sunlight influence the color, the artificial light will influence the color too. And it will influence the color because more or less there are two types of hue. You have the cooler light bulbs, or you have the warmer light bulbs, more yellowish, and that will influence the rooms. That will make a different that will bring a different hue, a different shade to a color on the walls. Places like this, places without much of daily light, with sometimes no windows at all, it's a good idea, for example, to use the mirrors. Like I said on the previous video, a mirror put in a strategic place will make a miracle. So in rooms without much of daylight or without light at all, it's great places to use the mirrors, to use steel materials or glass or high gloss materials as well, because that will reflect the artificial light that you're going to use on that room. That brings us to the next type of light, that are the artificial lights. The artificial light will most often be used in the evening or by night, depends if the room doesn't have. Sometimes I have to, in some places of my house, during the day I have to use artificial light, but it's just a little bit, probably more in the mornings, some in the afternoon. Sometimes it will depend of if I'm on the summertime or if I'm on winter time. There are a variety of bulbs, and it is important for you to understand which one you will use and how that light will influence the color. As usual, I will recommend you to use one more ecological, that in my opinion it is the LED light, because LED bulbs are more efficient, more eco-friendly, they last longer. There are 5 main types of bulbs. You have the incandescent light bulbs, you have the halogen incandescent light bulbs, you have the fluorescent light bulbs, you have compact fluorescent bulbs, the CFLS, and last but not least, you have the LED light bulbs. Let me give you some examples on how the different types of light will influence colors. In this first image, you have a bedroom with natural light on the left side and artificial light in the right side. You can tell that the blue on the walls look different. One is more bright, more open, and the other is more muted, less bright. Here you have 3 different types of lighting: a cooler light on the left and a warmer on the right. In this kitchen, for example, the white on the walls and the ceiling appears distinct, on one side more bright and the other side the white on the walls look almost like a light gray, in my opinion. Now this last image, on one side you have a cool light and on the other side you have a warmer light. On the warmer side you can tell that the space look more cozier, more comfortable, and the colors are bright and they are welcoming. Now you can see how different the color may appear with different types of light, and how the impact they have, what the impact they have on colors. It can be huge. It can change the tone of the color. It can make the room look cozier or more cooler. But again, it will depend on what you need on that room. If you need a more cool room, if you need a more warmer room, and that will depend on the light as well. For example, if you have a room that receives too much daylight, that is really hot, for example on summer, then you will need a cooler tone on the wall, because you will need to break down a little bit of that temperature that the sun brings inside that room. The best tips that I can give you when you're choosing a color for any room is to analyze the quantity of the light that is coming, the daylight that is coming inside, and for how long it stays on that room as well. Another thing to think about is artificial light. How the artificial light will impact that color. Will you like it? You will not like it? Do you prefer more warmer? Do you need it to be more cooler? And a good thing to do is to grab some swatches from the store, the paints that you decide, different type of paint, different type of colors that you decide to put on the wall. Put some swatches on the wall that you want to paint. Analyze it through the day. See how the daylight influences it, and analyze it in the evening, night as well, to see how the artificial light will impact the color that you want to choose, and if it's okay for you. Because in any type of situation, any design that you create, any interior decoration that you want to achieve, it is always up to what the person needs or what the person wants for that room. It will depend also on the personality. So keep in mind those few steps that you need to have, how important the light is when choosing the colors for your walls. Make it a fun task. Make it something that you will enjoy. The process can be fun if you let it be fun. this is it for this video. I hope that I help you guys. I hope that you can take some knowledge and use on your designs. As usual, save this video on your playlist to see it in another time, to see whenever you want it. Share with someone that you think that this information will help them. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, stay tuned for the next video that are coming. If you have something to share, if you know other ways to transform the colors with lighting, let me know on the comments down below. I hope you have fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next time. Till then, take care. Bye, people.